Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. CountryMarro here. It's been over a month now, or since the start of spring. I haven't given you guys a full garden or homestead tour. What I'm going to do in this video, I'm going to take you guys through and show you what's really happening in basically every aspect of the homestead, from the chickens to the rabbit to the garden area. So we're going to start off around where I have the watermelons, and then we can work our way back to the rear of the house. So let me take you guys down all the way. These were the watermelons that I was treating 2 weeks ago, and look at the size already on this one. Here's the next one right here, and I'm not sure if we have any more on this plant. I think those are the only two on this plant. I took one off the other day that wasn't so well, so we only have two on this plant right now. And we have cucumbers right down here. So let me just harvest as we go along. These are some pak choys that are bolting on me, going to seed. Need to get rid of some of those. Have some beet in this bag right here. We can go ahead and uproot these beet. So as I'm taking you guys on this tour, we're also doing a bit of harvesting. So we have those beet, and we have more pak choy in this bed right here. This is the Vega bed. Let me go down and show you guys. This is the Vega bed that I put in just at the beginning of spring, and I'm getting result out of this bed already. So the dirt wasn't bad, and the rabbit manure, I don't think it started working at its fullest as yet. I got a good result from just the big buck cheap dirt. I think it was a timberline dirt that I use. Here are some more watermelons right here, and this was just a baby when I showed it to you guys about 2 weeks ago. We have another one right there, more watermelon there, and if we come across, I think we have two more. Here's another one right here. So we have quite a few watermelons on this side of the yard, and these tomatoes, I'm still getting tomato from them, so I'm not going to be removing them. We're going through some drought-like time right now. It's very hot and dry here in Florida. We haven't been getting a lot of rain, so I'm going to leave my cucumbers and tomatoes to bush out. I'm not going to be trimming them back or anything like that. Just going to be leaving them like this. Here I have some zucchini, and let me take you guys down to the zucchini. Here I have a zucchini right here. Just remove that plant. I have a zucchini there, and a lot of flowering. So hope those all get pollinated and we can get more zucchini. So this is what this little patch on this side is looking like. We don't come on this side a lot, but we still get food from this side of the yard. This area where I have the trellis and all these things growing, the watermelon, the cucumbers, the tomatoes and the zucchini. But before we leave, I see a few turned tomatoes. So let me get them right here. So it's just a tour, and as I go along, I'm getting a few things. We even have more tomatoes down here. So we're going to move along now to where I have the Indian pumpkin. This is my little pumpkin patch, and I have a few pumpkin on this plant. There is one there, and I think I would have to search, but there's the next one, and we have one more right there. Another pumpkin here. I think the last time I counted, we had 7 pumpkin on this plant right here. I'm looking for at least 14 pumpkin for this season, and I'll be good. So we have pumpkins. We have enough pumpkin from just this single pumpkin plant in the backyard. I have some celery, and they're still going well in the heat. They're not getting bitter on me as yet, so I'm going to leave them because the things are mostly shaded. Also have another pumpkin plant here coming up. I'm not sure how this is showing because of the reflection, that shade from the sun, so I'm really not sure. But behind here it all look like weed, but this is a thing that we call strongback. I'm going to look up the scientific name for you guys, but we normally use this in a medicinal drink or an energy drink back in Jamaica that we call the roots. So this is the strongback plant, and if you look, it has these things on it. Most times you will see these plants growing in the park or so, but I have them growing here, so I allow them to grow in this bed. So this bed is really my strongback bed area because I love to make a good root tonic wine. And as we come along, I have some aloe vera down here. I'm starting to remove the aloe vera from the front of the yard and taking them to the back of the yard. So here are some aloe vera coming up around here, and these are the banana plants that were burnt back, and I went ahead and behead them, and they're bouncing back quite beautiful. These beds, you guys are used to these beds because I normally show these beds. These are the beds that I grow the beets and radishes in most of the time. So this is what they're looking like. I have a sunflower plant here, but it hasn't bloomed as yet. But I'm going to take you guys to one that has a beautiful flower on it soon. So here we'll come down, and these are all green onions, what we call scallion. These are all green onions in this bed. Every season I have a volunteer tomato plant that comes up in this bed, most likely just around this area. And this season this one is here again, but I'm only seeing 2 tomatoes on it so far. It has a lot of bloom, so let's hope I can get some more tomato from this plant. And this area is the last area for my tomato plants to die in the grow season. Now we'll come across, and in this bed we have more parsley and celery. Tomatoes in these bags, they're doing well. I have a whole bunch of tomato on this plant right here. Come down to it. I'm not sure how well you guys are seeing, but I hope it's picking it up properly. Last season on this trellis I had passion fruit and watermelon. This season I won't be going for watermelons and passion fruit on this trellis. I'll be just putting cucumbers and allowing this pumpkin to take over this trellis right here. And I'm going to show you guys where I'll be putting the passion fruit this season. Closer to the aviary, I have a post right here, and I'm going to have this passion fruit run all the way up on this post, and this is a volunteer passion. And I have a cattle panel on top, and it's going to run on it and trellis all the way back. Deeper down in this passage area I have some chayote, or what we call chocho in Jamaica, and they're growing up to go all the way up on this cattle panel also. So the chayote, they're going to trellis on this cattle panel as well. And I simply have them in a garbage bin. This garbage bin was one of my bins that I had compost in, and I just added some more soil to the top of it and then went ahead and plant the chayote in it. Over here is the infamous grow bag area where I have the brassicas still going in the heat, and I need to go ahead and start getting out these brassicas. So these cabbages, it's time to go ahead and get them removed. Maybe I'll be removing most of them throughout the course of this week. So this is the entire grow bag area right here. I'll be upgrading it now with some warmer season crops. I have some bell peppers, and they're looking quite beautiful. I have some tomatoes also to be harvested, and these are those plummy tomatoes that I was showing you guys the other day on the last video, or the second to last video. These were the same set of tomatoes that I have in the tomato stand. So I'm not going to stay on the grow bag area too long because this is the area that you guys see most of the time. I also have a Scotch bonnet pepper right there coming up and another one right there. So I still have a few Scotch bonnet peppers in the garden. I have some rabbits in this cage right here. These are the boys that will be going to freezer camp soon. And over here, this is a baby rooster. This is a French Marron. We got this rooster, I think it's like a month ago. Maybe about September thereabout, we can introduce him to the female and see how things go. But for now, he's way too young to move him across with the female, with the hens. This is my coop area, as you guys all know. So there we have a hen inside, and down below, that's the run. So I keep the run underneath because the feeding is stored up top, and whatever falls out, then they'll eat it from down there. So the run area, they'll also get feed whenever they waste the feeding from up top. And this is how I keep it. My nesting box area. And I have well, there's a egg in this box. And we have another egg right there. So 2 eggs so far. Let me go ahead and just remove these eggs. Oh, that one is broken. So we have a bit of problem here. So we have an egg eater in the lot here. We need to figure out who is the egg eater, and then we can solve that problem. Maybe we can solve that problem. The pergola area is coming back slowly but surely. Most of the plants are all gone, but we have managed to save a few, and we're just working on them as we go along. So this is the pergola area. These are the cages in which I breed the parakeets. So once you see them in these cages, they are paired up, about to have babies. Here's the next cage on this side with them paired up to start breeding. And everything in this area, I'm trying to get bounced back, but they're coming slowly. Some have died back fully. So in those containers, I'll have to find new plants to put in them. Other than that, I'll just work with what I have for now until I can afford to get new plants and put in some of these containers. The tomato cage right here. I said to you guys the other day that I wasn't getting a lot of tomato. Maybe I went ahead and spoke too soon, but I'm getting a ton of tomatoes now coming up. A whole lot of tomatoes, and I also need to go ahead and harvest some of these because they're getting ripe on the plant. Here's that sunflower plant that I was telling you guys about. It's such a beauty. So this is the in-ground bed, and it's packed with amaranth, okras, and a few other things. I can't name everything right now, but this is a compact bed. I have almost everything that is supposed to start coming up for the warm season in this bed. Most of them I just dropped the seeds in last week, so I'm still awaiting for those seeds to start germinating. Some have already gone ahead and germinated. I'm still waiting on the remainder of them. But this is the in-ground bed area, and I'm not going to take you guys inside bed for bed because I don't want this video to be too drawn out. So let me take you guys and show you the rabbits under here. And if you guys are here for the first time, this is my warm weather greenhouse, and here is where I also keep my breeder rabbits. So here they are. And if you come down, we have the bucks, the male, on the lower section right here. So this is my rabbit hutch setup in my greenhouse area, my warm weather greenhouse area, and this is what it's looking like. I have some ginger, should be popping up anytime soon from out of these bags. I'm going to be keeping the ginger in this location this season because this is a cool location in the yard. It's shaded, and most things won't do well here until about fall month when the angle of the sun has changed. This is the west side of the house, so I have to use it smartly. If we come down, we have more zucchini here, and we have more zucchini plants here also, and we have a few zucchini on this plant. Over here we have more watermelon and beans growing up on this trellis. I'm going to see how well they do in this area because it's a cool area of the garden. This is a dwarf banana plant, and if you realize, amaranths are almost as tall as this banana plant right here. I'm just saying banana plant, we'll call them banana tree, banana plant, whatever you may call it. It's just the same thing. Now we're in the front of the yard, and here's where I planted those fruit trees. I think it was back in early December, thereabout. This is the mulberry, and just look how it has grown, guys. If you go back to that video, it was a very small plant when I put this in ground. We also have the peach right there. We have an apple down there to the end. This is an olive right here, and a few citrus plants coming up. One lemon, one lime, and a blueberry right here. We still have some spring dead spot in the lawn, which I'll be taking care of. And we have a persimmon right here. This persimmon had a lot of flower on it, and then they just fell off. I don't know what happened, but the flower just keep falling off this plant. So I'm just gonna watch it. It's just a few months old in the garden here, or in the front lawn here. So I'll just watch it and see what it does next season. But there it is. And it's still holding on to a few fruit, or it's still holding on to a few flower. So let's hope I can get some from this plant. If not, I'll just wait until next season. In the garden bed area here, where I did that big spring cleanup after the burn, I have some volunteer plants coming up. Here we have a pumpkin, and I know this is definitely, or this got to be a Indian pumpkin, because that's the only pumpkin we use in this house. And I'm just going to control this pumpkin plant in this garden area. Over on this side, we have a grape coming up on the trellis, and a beautiful sunflower right here. So with that grape on this side of the trellis, we have a black pepper plant right here. This is what the black pepper plant look like, guys. It's a vine-like plant. It's not a tree, so it's gonna trellis. I'm gonna have a trellis all the way over and around to meet the grape on this trellis right here. For this other trellis over here, there's a grape right here, and this is holding on to the trellis and coming up. We also have amaranth in this front bed. I'm going to get rid of these amaranth because they are very invasive, and once the seeds get into the lawn or get onto the lawn, it's going to be a big problem for me throughout the season. It's hard to get rid of amaranth from out the lawn. So this is how I'm going to be keeping the lawn. The long gun tree down in the corner right there, it died back. It got burnt badly, but this morning when I was mowing the lawn, I realized that I have a tiny long gun plant coming up from the root area right here. So I'm going to be watching this, and I hope that the lychee does the same. I hope you guys enjoy my short little homestead tour. That's just me showing you guys what's happening on the homestead in April here in Florida. It's quite hot, quite dry. We're going through drought-like conditions here, so it's kind of challenging keeping a garden like this green as it is. So that's going to be it from CountryMarro. God bless you all. See you in the next one. Happy gardening, and cheers.